Hi guys, how's it going? I'm Les, the Tatted Trash Reader, bringing you ethical, bingeable reads to recommend to all of your besties and showing you how to build bookish community. Today I have another installment of my Indie Author Spotlight series, and today I'm talking about our epic fantasy author, D.L. Jennings. I have so much to say about Dave. Dave is a person that I actually had the pleasure of meeting in person in 2025 when I was visiting Pittsburgh. I I actually got to go out to dinner with Dave and his dad, who is also an author, believe it or not. And Dave and I ended up winning trivia that night as a two-person team. Um, Bless, so much fun. 10 out of 10 would do it again. If you don't know Dave is an epic fantasy author who is based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If you haven't seen his social media yet, his social media is hilarious. He does a great job marketing his books as well. He's actually an Air Force veteran as well. So that does it comes with a lot of different experiences, and Dave is truly a unique person. Dave does not have an extensive backlist of books like maybe some other authors do, especially since Dave has been an author for probably about 7 or 8 years now. But his books are well written. They have a very unique voice, and he is incredibly sensitive to marginalized communities and other cultures. This is one of the things that I respect so much about him and why I decided I wanted to work with him. So Dave's backlist currently consists of 3 books. It is an entire finished series, which I was very happy to come across. So this story follows the son of a blacksmith and his friend Mira on a quest to save the world from evil and from releasing the breaker who would end up destroying the world. That's the gist of the trilogy. I'm not going to say anything more than that because I feel like I'm going to spoil the whole thing. It's definitely a different kind of epic fantasy than what you're used to. We have essentially ninja cats, which are super awesome. We have something that appears to be a semi-dragon, but is also like a snake. It's actually incredibly scary. And there was some art that was recently made for this as well that Dave recently did a live with, so go check that out as well. Dave, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering this. I want to talk about this without spoiling it. This is Gift of the Shaper. Gift of the Shaper is Dave's first book that was actually written when he was on deployment to Africa, and this kicks off Thornton and Mira's story. The second book in that series is Awaken the Three. So if you've read Gift of the Shaper already, this is book 2. This continues to follow Thornton's story, and we also introduce some desert people that transform into different animals, which is super dope. I finished this one this year as well, and again, 5-star read. And we conclude this epic trilogy with Days of the Dark. I have not yet read Days of the Dark. It's on my TBR for 2026 because I also have a challenge to myself that I want to finish the series that I've started, or at least catch up to them. So yeah, this is definitely going to be part of my reading for 2026. Because I haven't read it yet, I don't want to talk about the plot too much. Again, I feel like I'm going to end up spoiling the entire trilogy. But if epic fantasy is up your lane, this trilogy is so amazing. Dave also is working on a publishing contract for his newest book called Dreams of Blood and Shadow, which is a Mesoamerican epic fantasy tale. It's the start of his new series, and I was lucky enough to get a beta read of it this year. This one does come with a romance subplot this time, which I enjoyed so much. It's completely different from his Highglade series, so if you're not sure you want to commit to a series yet, you can start with Dreams of Blood and Shadow when that one is published. I don't have a publishing date for that one yet. Dreams of Blood and Shadow was incredible. I loved it. There are chocobo-inspired animals, so if you're a fan of Final Fantasy, 100% this is probably a great book for you. I loved the really strong female characters. There's deaf representation and sign language representation. And Dave did a lot of research into the Mesoamerican culture, working with experts in the field, and even going so far as to make sure that um, the audiobook narrator is from the culture that he is writing about. Dave really cares a lot about social justice and especially women's rights, which is why he writes such strong women characters. And I cannot wait for this book to come out. I just know that it's going to be one that for epic fantasy readers, they are going to love it. And I wish I could talk about this beta read more because it was one of my favorites. I wasn't really sure if I was going to be an epic fantasy person, and Dave really changed my mind here. If you want to read Dave's books, you can read Gift of the Shaper and Awaken the Three on Kobo Plus. You can purchase all three of them from Blythe Books in Pittsburgh. You can order online or you can go in person. If you want to purchase direct from Dave, you can do so through his Instagram account at DL Jennings. Just follow the links there in his bio. I hope you enjoyed today's video featuring DL Jennings for our Indie Author Spotlight series. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment and tell me if you're going to be putting the Highglade series on your TBR, or if you've read these books, tell me what you thought of them. I can't wait to see you next time, and see ya!